Hey, hello. I'm back with a little follow-up to my previous Q&A about meditation with meditating when you have ADHD and you feel like your attention span just can't handle the stillness and the sitting and meditation aspect. The follow-up to that is going a little deeper. The question kind of being, or the story being, that the mind is constantly busy, constantly full of creative ideas, constantly starting projects and not being able to finish them, constantly feeling disorganized, overwhelmed, chaotic, all of that stuff just in daily life. And then on top of it, that fear of stillness. So being frustrated with all the busyness, all the doing, the inability to handle and manage, so to speak. And then when it comes to actually sitting in stillness, that being the most terrifying thing of all, because sitting in stillness would mean having to sit and address the feelings, address the fears, address the anxiety, and address the grief, the sadness, and that's extremely overwhelming. And so the question is basically, how do I find stillness? How do I find peace when stillness is absolutely terrifying, when I don't want to sit alone with myself, when I feel totally inadequate, when all of those voices start piping up as soon as I get alone with myself? And then also the question being, what came first? The creating of a chaotic and busy mind and disorganized and just stressful life in order to avoid stillness, or the pain, all that pain being untended to inside, then creating all that chaos. So I would say that's probably not the question worth answering, and I don't even know if there's a question here. I just want to address the reality that many people feel this way. And it's frustrating and tiring because you want stillness, you want peace. You don't want to feel chaotic all the time. You don't want your mind to be going crazy. You want to be able to connect with yourself and address those deeper griefs, those feelings, that anxiety. And honestly, this is the best answer I have for you, is the only way to do it differently is to start doing it differently. And it's gonna be uncomfortable. I promise you it's gonna be really uncomfortable. And I promise you it's gonna be hard. And feelings are gonna come up. I have this crazy hair right here. And I also promise you that it is absolutely worth every ounce of discomfort. Learning to get comfortable with discomfort is a huge part of the work here. Change does not happen without it being uncomfortable. We stay stuck in the behaviors, in the patterns, in all the mechanisms that we have set up for ourselves in our lives in order to avoid ourselves. So the only way to change it is to be willing to be uncomfortable. Get comfortable with discomfort, and that is where growth happens. So I'm not saying that ADHD and ADD aren't real things that actually do affect the ability to slow down and to be still. And at the same time, practicing presence and stillness, even just for 5 minutes, no matter how wildly uncomfortable it is, no matter how crazy your mind goes in that 5 minutes of stillness, that is practicing coming into a more balanced and loving relationship with your mind, with your heart, with your body, with your life. So Again, I believe that guided meditation is really, really wonderful for those who have trouble sitting in stillness, using visualization, mantra, guided breath work, whatever it is. It can help you realize that you have a choice in where your mind goes, that you can choose. Your mind's going to be full of thoughts. Let's not pretend that your mind isn't full of thoughts. It's doing what it's doing. The work is, the practice is not getting attached to all of those thoughts and choosing where you let your thoughts go. And also creating tons of space, so much space and grace for yourself to just be, to let some things go. You're not going to be able to take care of everything. You could get everything done on your list, and you know what? There's going to be more to do. So letting yourself off the hook, not trying to get it all done, throwing away the to-do list. One thing that I like to do, oh, the neighborhood's getting noisy again. One thing that I really like to do is take my to-do lists, I write them out, and then I sit on them for a while, and then I throw them away. Crazy. And I let myself off the hook. Another thing that I really like to do is when I'm overwhelmed with creative ideas, projects, all the things I want to do, the things I want to create, the things I want to offer, all the things, is I imagine, inspiration is a muse who visits me all the time. She's full of ideas and she's bombarding me constantly, and I love her. She has great ideas. I love inspiration. I love creative ideas, but it's a lot. It's a lot sometimes. So I like to imagine that over there somewhere over there or over there, wherever you want it to be, imagine there's kind of a little place for your creative ideas to congregate. And whenever you get a new one, just say, you know what? I'm not taking new submissions right now. Go stand over there with the rest, and I will let you know when I'm ready. So anytime you get struck by like, do this, do that, this needs to be done, this gets to be done, just go, you know what? Go stand over there with the rest. You're not saying, go away, you don't matter, this isn't a good idea, this isn't important. It's not that. You're saying, I hear you, I see you, I don't want to engage with you right now because I'm really overwhelmed. And let all those creative ideas, those inspirations, those things that you think you need to do, let them congregate over there. Have a little conversation with them. And when you're ready to engage with something creative, you can kind of sit and look over at that crowd of creative ideas or things to do, and you can go, you know what? Which one feels the best right now? Which one keeps showing up in a way that really excites me? And which one of them have I completely forgotten about? Because you'll find that when you just kind of send them away to go gather, sometimes they just kind of go off on their own and they go find a different muse. They'll go find someone else to take care of it. And you're left with kind of the things that really matter, and you can address them one at a time. So that's a little something that I like to do to help with my mind when there's all the things I think I want and I need, is I will sometimes make that list, and sometimes that list is just where my ideas congregate. And then that list builds and it builds and it builds, and then I throw that list away without looking at it, and I go, okay, what do I remember from that list that excites me and that I really want to do right now? So that's a little practice that you can do for your busy mind. And then as you practice that just in your daily life, when it comes to sitting in stillness, just set a time to do it. Set a time to sit in stillness with yourself every day. I heard someone say recently, set a time for healing and show up for it. It doesn't matter what happens in that time of healing. If you start to feel anxious and scared and inadequate and all this stuff comes up, that's okay. It needs to be tended to. It needs to be allowed to come up. And you can go and you can set that in a beautiful container too. You can say, okay, I hear you. I'm feeling really overwhelmed right now. I'm going to set you aside right now. I hear you. I hear you. Another thing that's helpful too is doing some journaling as well. If you want to sit and journal and get like all the stuff that you're feeling just out of you, and then sit in stillness, that can be really helpful because it kind of helps clear out some internal space. Or you can sit and you can let all this stuff come up, and then grab your journal and start writing it out, start processing, start letting yourself explore what came up for you. Gosh, I was sitting there in stillness and I got super anxious. And then I started to feel really sad. And then I started to feel angry. And then I was really frustrated. And then I became really overwhelmed. And put that all down. Put that all down on paper. And then ask yourself some questions about it. I think that for me is really, really helpful. Or just even going for a walk and letting yourself be still. Don't put in your earbuds. Don't listen to music. Don't listen to a meditation. Dedicate yourself to going and walking at the park for an hour or half an hour, and just walk and walk and walk, and notice that thoughts come and notice that thoughts to go. They flow in and they flow out, and just observe them without getting attached to them. And sometimes just moving as your mind is moving can sometimes help move things through and move feelings through. But that's another way to be still with yourself, to be alone with yourself, is while walking. Just a gentle walk. Nothing vigorous, nothing huge. You're not there to exercise. You're there to meditate. You're there to walk and meditate. If you need some support, of course, I have a YouTube channel. It's just Stay With Yourself on YouTube, or you can look up Jessica Amos. I have a walking meditation on there. I have a lot of guided meditations you can do, and on my website, staywithyourself.com, just under the tab Free Stuff, there's guided meditations, there's videos, there's articles, there's all kinds of things for you to help support you. And some really, really great news. If you've made it to the end of this video, you get to hear this great news. I am in the middle of revamping, reinvigorating, redesigning my 8-week meditation course. It's just for people like you who maybe struggle sitting in stillness, who want to start a meditation practice, who know that they want to sit with themselves and start practicing deep healing and doing that deep healing work, and need a little guidance. So it's really, really gentle. A lot of the stuff I shared here, I share there, plus a ton more. So I hope you find this helpful. Of course, send me more questions, send me more of your stories, tell me what it is that you might want me to address, any questions that you have. I'm here for you. I'm happy to have these conversations as much as you need them. So thank you for sharing, thank you for your honesty, thank you for your openness and willingness to grow and heal and learn. So have a lovely day. I'll see you soon. Bye.